the magic of technology. While even though I am on vacation right now, I miss you terribly as I am relaxing looking at the beautiful Sturgeon Bay. But anyway, yes, I am able to have this time with you. I know many of you have shared with me that these videos are helpful, and I didn't, even though I was going to be gone, I wanted you to be able to have this conversation. And yes, I love the feedback. I love when people engage, right? Comment, share what they thought, talk to me about where this led them, right? I experienced things throughout the day. Please engage them, even if I'm on vacation. I'm not going to get back to you to get back, but I'll get to it eventually. Comment here for people to see. And thanks for being with us. I enjoy starting the day together in this way too. So even though I'm on vacation, I thought we'd talk about this week. We had this passage of Jesus feeding the 5,000, right? 5 loaves, 2 fish. Talked about it's a miracle. That with God, anything is possible. It's a bold claim. Just because we believe in God doesn't mean all things are possible when we want them to be. We don't have the power, thankfully. You ever seen that scene? It's probably an older movie now, but I always love that one scene from Bruce Almighty. Jim Carrey's a star, it's a long time ago. Where he's, allowed to be God for a day, and I always love that. Maybe it's being a pastor, but I love that scene where he's allowed to answer all the prayers, the knee mail, haha. And he just says yes to everyone. He's like, oh, God never answered my prayers. I'm going to always answer yes. Yes. And yeah, he does it. He gets to be God for a day. He answers all the prayers, yes. And then the world's literally on fire. Sometimes we don't know what's best for us. I love that. The one guy's like, why did everyone win the lottery the same day? Anyway, humor. We can talk about the theology of that movie some other time. Anyway, it's supposed to be shorter on vacation, right? But yeah, I love that because, yes, with all things God is possible. With all things, with God, all things are possible. Jesus, you mean to say, sticking to vacation. That is true. But God's not a magic genie. You don't get 3 wishes and they're going to come true no matter what, whether they're good or bad for you, right? And that almost happens with genies too. What you wish for is not what you need. Anyway, God knows what we need. But this is a faith claim that we can live by. If I see it as, God always talks to the communal. Jesus addresses 5,000. Not Jesus feeds the 1. Jesus feeds 5,000. God addresses us all that together, with God, all things are possible. Right? When together we set our minds to something, even when the odds are great, it's still possible. Really, if you think about it, everything that's impossible is only impossible until it's proven possible. It's proven to be possible, then it's no longer impossible. How many things have we declared impossible over the course of human history that turn out later to be very possible? We can fly, go to the moon. Well, the medical field, we're breaking down impossible every day, it seems. We just look at our coronavirus. The fact that we know it's not a matter of if, but when that we get this vaccine. That wasn't possible in previous plagues. You just had to live with it and see who lived and died. A lot of people, usually. With God, all things are possible. And so this week, we're going to explore some scripture passages that might sound impossible, but very much are possible. I read this great book, maybe if you have time, right? Called The Language of God, A Scientist Provides Evidence for Belief. I had to pause and look it up because brain fart, but by Francis S. Collins. You may recognize the name. He was the head of the Human Genome Project. It's been a couple years since I read it, but at the time I thought it was profound. Someone so educated, scientific, that how decode the genome. Never been done before. That was impossible. Decoding the DNA, right? Now we can do that. It's changed our world forever. Dr. Collins talks about how we are now unraveling the language that God speaks, that God is an ultimate scientist, using genetic blocks to create. So I think science is often discovering the means of God's action. God isn't a magician. God's a scientist. The rules of order exist because God made them that way. So, this week, know that with God all things are possible. That perhaps our thinking around God needs to shift a little, from magician to scientist. Looking forward to this week together.